Oh, again, thank you for the introduction, Bill. It's a pleasure of mine once again to be with you guys over there, this time virtually, but it's an honor once again to be with the Pennsylvania Integrity Network now in another basis, another phase. The last time we were speaking, we were talking about Puerto Rican politics. How's the political structure over here in Puerto Rico? If you could see on my party over here in Puerto Rico. That's the Popular Democratic Party that I will touch further later. And again, thank you for the opportunity once again, Bill. And I would like to introduce, on behalf of the Popular Democratic Party and the Commonwealth Republicans, I would like to introduce the director of the political platform and public policy platform, Hector Prado.
Good afternoon, everyone that's in here. I thank JESSIEL as well as the hosting members for hosting this opportunity to be part of these conversations that are very important and that would shed some light on the political landscape as well as the political atmosphere here in Puerto Rico. I'm glad to be part of the team and I'm glad to be part of this conversation. Thank you for your time.
You can just turn your cameras on so we can see us.
Yes, the reason why I'm from the capital all the way to back to the city, so you caught me in that area. However, I am here and I'm listening.
I don't know I don't know yet if the president of the coalition is here, but might as well, just in case. I would be presenting also Mr. Juan Luis Camacho. He was the former General Secretary of the Popular Democratic Party. He's the president of the Commonwealth Republicans. That's in a sectional organization inside the party. He's the president. If he's not, on behalf of him, I would say thank you, obviously, and I would. It's an honor to be here. Um, he hasn't connected yet. Okay. The first time that I was here talking with you guys, the first time was present over there in Bethlehem, beautiful city. Oh, the president just texted me. Yeah, he's not gonna make it right now. He had a speaking also on behalf of him. And again, I would say Puerto Rican people, Commonwealth Republicans, and conservatives, I would say thank you. Um, so starting off with something very general, so we could start up and running with everything. My bad, guys, is that the president is texting me. So yeah, the politics here in Puerto Rico are very here in Puerto Rico, we have more than two parties. We have approximately five parties. We have the pro statehood party, that's the New Progressive Party, advocates for statehood, that has members from the right wing and conservative movements, as well as liberal left wing Democrats inside the party. We have the pro independence party, the Puerto Rican Independence Party. Yeah, it's mostly composed of left wingers. It has socialists, it has communists, and we would say it has Democrats. We have the Citizens Victory Movement that is a dying party, I would say, but it's mostly composed also of left wing members of the political spectrum. We have another right wing party called the Dignity Project. It's a more conservative, non-status quo, non-status based party. Either their candidates do have a status preference. And last but not least, we do have the Popular Democratic Party. The Popular Democratic Party is a party that advocates for the Commonwealth status or the free associated state status. That's what we call it here in Puerto Rico. In Spanish, we say the name is Estado Libre Asociado. That's the name of our current status. It's very different and unique from other status like Guam or other territories in the United States. We are a Commonwealth, like I said. We are treated like a state. We operate like a state, and we administrate ourselves as an autonomous state because we are, at a certain extent, we are not a state, but we are part of the United States. So the Popular Democratic Party is mostly composed of Democrats. Right now, our president, Pablo Jose Hernandez, he's our congressman over there in Washington, and he's part of the Democrat Party, and he's the president of the Popular Democratic Party. We do have, I would say, that's another note, we do have the Democrat and Republican parties in Puerto Rico, but they are not functioning here as an active party for electoral candidates. So you could have a member of the Republican Party being mostly from the New Progressive Party. Historically, it's been people from the pro-statehood party, the New Progressive Party, that's been Republicans. But I would gladly say, I would touch further basis on that later. I would gladly say there's a big movement that's moving towards a more conservative, right-wing, Republican-based movement pro-Commonwealth that's in this party, and that I have the honor and I have the privilege to share with my colleague, Hector Luis Prado, that collective and that coalition, and I have the honor to be their press secretary. The Popular Democratic Party is the Commonwealth Party, and it's based most of Democrats in the majority. With that, the free associated state status, that's what we advocate for. So the free associated state status is basically major autonomy with the United States, more powers, more autonomy, fiscal and immigration, anything we could have a permanent union with the United States. Countries that have this type of relation with another country, it's not free association, let me be clear, but countries that have the same relationship with other countries, we could see in Wales, we could see Scotland, we could see Northern Ireland with England. That's what forms the United Kingdom. We could see Greenland with Denmark, if I'm not mistaken. We could see Ireland with Finland. They're a Commonwealth also. So this all happens also, this free associated state status is to preserve also the cultural identity of Puerto Ricans throughout history. We were part of Spain. We were a Spanish colony until 1898, when the United States entered the Spanish-American War with Spain, and the Spanish Empire, or Spain, ceded to United States Puerto Rico during that, through the Paris Treaty in 1898. From there, Puerto Rico was a colony of the United States. Most pro-statehood advocates say that we're a colony. Republican and Democrat pro-statehood people say that we're a colony, but that's not a fact. That's just ideology talk. Because in 1952, President Dwight D. Eisenhower decolonized the island, create our own constitution, and create this unique status called the Commonwealth status, or the free associated state status. The Popular Democratic only has had relationship with the Democrat Party, like, for example, Nydia Velázquez, that was endorsed by a former president and grandfather of the current president, Rafael Hernández Colón. He was former governor, and he was a president of the party, and he endorsed Nydia Velázquez. He created Nydia Velázquez. And well, we see now that Nidia Velázquez took another route and endorsed a pro-independence candidate, and she's or pro-free association. With that being said, the free associated state status or Commonwealth status advocates for more powers. So let's say we could have the opportunity. We believe in furthering those powers inside the permanent union. We do believe we could control our immigration, our borders. This being said, we have water borders, let's say, quote unquote borders, but we control our immigration situation. We could have more um, treaties with other countries, commerce, um, and other tasks we would love to have as a country also, but still being in permanent union with the United States, because we do believe that Puerto Ricans add a lot of value to the United States. But here's a problem. Mostly, like I said, the Popular Democratic Party is mostly run by Democrats. This movement is that it's surging from the shadows wants to take the Popular Democratic Party and bring it back to its center right origins, or mostly to a right wing spectrum. Right now, we all believe in limited government. We all believe in low taxes. And right now, the problem in Puerto Rico doing this relationship with the party and the current situationship with Puerto Rico is that Puerto Rico, as you all know, is in a very delicate state. Puerto Rico has a aging and very bad electrical grid. President Trump allocated already $365 million for the electrical grid and its reparations. And Puerto Rico, this has been obviously the main discussions, not left wing or right wing, my bad. It's been more status, and they tend to make the conversation and the situation in Puerto Rico about the status. But like my friend Hector would say, the problem in Puerto Rico is not the status. The problem in Puerto Rico is a fiscal problem and administrative problem. Right now, we do have a Republican governor. She's pro statehood, but most Republicans, I don't want to bash the governor, but it's a wide known fact. Most people categorize her as a rhino. Um, her health secretary is a liberal, very liberal. He advocated for sex changes for kids, so you could see what we're battling with. But the thing is, we us Commonwealth Republicans, we believe in a Popular Democratic Party that's more a right wing party, and we advocate for limited government or small government. Puerto Rico has now 136 government agencies, the most in any jurisdiction of the United States. We have 78 municipalities. But the bureaucracy is the thing that kills us more with the 136 agencies. Right now, we do not generate enough wealth. We depend more on federal funding because of that. Right now, 46% of the island's government budget is composed of federal funding, because everything that we generate through taxes, high taxes, let me say, it goes over to government obligations. We have a centralized government. Right now, our education is fairly slowly developing also, because everything is centralized. We tend to say that Puerto Rico is it's kind of a social democratic island right now. It's in the left wing spectrum. It's very bureaucratic. It's very tax heavy. The last time I was there, I was talking about my economic reform for the island. Right now, commerce. Any person that wants to build their business, wants to start a business in Puerto Rico, has high regulations. Like President like President Reagan said, the solution to our problems is not the government. The government is the problem. So with the government of Puerto Rico intervening every time a person wants to start a business with high regulations, a lot of permits, people tend to stop doing their endeavor. And we need commerce in Puerto Rico. We need businesses. Plus the tax bracket. Puerto Rico's tax bracket is a double taxation system. What do I mean with this? Every person in every tax bracket pays an upfront percentage to their income. Let's say the lowest income starts with a 5% tax on their income. Later, they pay a net income tax. The net income tax is 18.5%. So you pay, let's say you generated 25K and you're starting your business, you pay 5% on your income. After that tax, you pay an additional 18.5%. You're stunting growth for Puerto Rican businesses. And I do not have a problem. I want to make this clear. I do not have a problem with foreign companies inside of Puerto Rico, but coming to Puerto Rico, but they give more tax breaks to foreign companies. The problem is they're holding our people, the individual, the Puerto Rican individual, they're holding the person back. And that's what I advocate for. I advocate for a leveled playing field through tax breaks and tax incentives, not only for foreign companies, but Puerto Rican companies. Right now, the economic liberty movement here in Puerto Rico just got another medal, another victory, because a Puerto Rican liquor is now selling their products in all the Walmarts in Florida. So that's another victory for capitalism. We have a big movement also, not in a right wing, but a big left wing movement. People from the pro-independence party are advocating for socialism and communism here in Puerto Rico. And we, us right wingers, we will not let that happen. Like Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan said also, socialism works when you run out of people's money. So, and that's happening already with the electrical grid. With that being said, this is what's most exciting. The Popular Democratic, like I said, the Popular Democratic Party has been run from Democrats for a long time. Center-right Democrats, center-left, and left-wing Democrats. Right now, our president, sadly, endorsed Zohran Mamdani, the mayor for New York, the Democrat mayor. He's a communist, a Marxist. But I am proud to say, with my friend here, Hector Luis Prado, that the Puerto Rican Republican Commonwealthers organization is going to start inside the Popular Democratic Party, and we're going to take over the Popular Democratic Party because we need to uphold and we need to promote conservative Republican values. I say more Republican values. I say more conservatism. I say low taxes. I say limited taxes. I say let's emphasize in every individual's progress. Help the individual. Puerto Ricans have a big potential to break through because it's not a status problem. Like I said, it's an administrative problem and it's a social problem at a certain extent. But still, if we are as perspicacious enough and we have the will, the power to empower our individuals, I would say that Puerto Ricans will come out of this race victorious, but socialism is not the answer. Left-wing policies, liberal policies are not the answer. With that being said, I would love to put on the stage, let's say, my colleague, Hector Luis Prado, to talk about the Commonwealthers organization inside the Popular Democratic Party. Hector? Hector?
Sorry. Yep, I'm here. Like my friend Mr. JESSIEL said, within the Popular Democratic Party, we have had other presidents and other chairmans that have been very conservative. See, the politics in Puerto Rico are not the same as in the United States. Over here, for example, within the Popular Democratic Party, we have conservatives, we have conservatives, we have people that are liberals, and so on and so forth. Just like the new Progressive Party, which is the governing party in in Puerto Rico right now, they also have people that are very progressive and that are very liberal, or they're very conservative. So it goes both ways within Puerto Rico. Within our Democratic Party, within the Popular Democratic Party, which is not the same as saying the Democratic Party in the United States, we have a lot of people that are actually very conservative. We actually have a lot of people that are very conservative. The problem with Puerto Rico, gentlemen, is that they have not been taught well within the education, the civics education in Puerto Rico have not been taught well. And I'm saying this as a university professor. I hold a master's in law and public policy, as well as a master's in theology and history. So the education in Puerto Rico, when it comes to civics, when it comes to the specifics of what party you vote for, or what kind of generation we have, or what kind of people we have, we we are leftist generation, or we are right wing generation. Puerto Rico is a very conservative place. I need you guys to understand that even though we have a lot of liberals running many agencies, like JESSIEL said, and the governor herself, a moderate Republican, not a hardcore Republican, we Puerto Rico, for the most part, is very conservative. We don't, a lot of the people, or the majority of the people on the island, do not allow same-sex marriage, do not support abortion rights, do not support LGBT communities. They actually support small government as far as a big government. But the problem is that they have not been taught the way that the United States have been taught. So they don't know what it is to be a Republican. In Puerto Rico, when you say you're Republican, right now they identify you with being a person that fully supports Donald Trump, which in our case, in many of the cases of my colleagues, is no problem. We support the president and many of his policies. I think he's doing a fantastic job. I think he's doing a great job, and we're going to continue to support him in any way we can. But in Puerto Rico, when it comes to political parties and political atmosphere, you need to be very careful. You need to be very diligent. You need to be very vigilant also, because as soon as you come out with something that they don't agree with, they put a stamp in your head, and that's the end. That's basically the end in that area. I don't know if Jessiel wants me to touch on another point. Do you?
Well, you right about said everything. You right about said everything. What happens in Puerto Rico right now? Another thought, pointing about the premise of Hector, is that if you say you're a Republican in Puerto Rico, they think you are pro statehood, which is very far from the truth. Me, as a 22-year-old conservative in Puerto Rico, I'd say it in radio, I'd say it in YouTube, I'd say in a diverse array of programs. In another life, in another moment of life, I could be a pro statehood person. I would consider statehood for Puerto Rico, but I am conscious, I am realistic enough to think and say that statehood for Puerto Rico is not viable. It's not viable, and it's not bashing the United States. I am gladly proud. I am gladly, and I say it to the camera, I am gladly proud of being Puerto Rican and being member and part of the most powerful nation of the whole global atmosphere, and that's the United States of America. I am proud to say I'm a US citizen. I am proud to say I'm Puerto Rican. I am proud to say I am a conservative 22-year-old. I am proud to say I'm a Reaganite. I am pro Reagan. I am pro low taxes. I am pro limited government. And I am proud to say I'm a member of the Popular Democratic Party. And I am proud to say also that I favor the Commonwealth status for Puerto Rico. The Commonwealth status and autonomy for Puerto Rico is the way to go. Right now, we do not pay federal taxes. We right now have full autonomy in our fiscal endeavors. Right now, we do have a managing board, a fiscal managing board, due to the fiscal crisis in Puerto Rico. But let's see it as let's see it through another perspective. People don't like the managing board in Puerto Rico. That is mostly composed of Democrats, my bad, of Democrats. Why? Because it was appointed by Obama. Obama appointed the members of the managing board. Now we're seeing left-wing media, we're seeing Puerto Rican left-wing media saying that Donald Trump has done bad by firing these members unnoticed. But we have to do an update. We need limited government. We need real Republican, conservative, administrative values. We cannot uphold a 136 agency government. We cannot. Right now, the people fund the government. Us people, we the people make the government. The government doesn't make us. And that goes for Puerto Rico and for the United States and for all the great people of the state of Pennsylvania. I know you guys have Josh Shapiro over there, and I really hope that Pennsylvania turns red in the up and coming years. We hope to see that. And yeah, right now, Puerto Rico, the Commonwealth status is the ideal status. We have fiscal autonomy. We can manage ourselves. We have a diverse array of policies we could uphold, as well as federal policies. Like I said, we do operate like a state, but we're not a state. But we do add value to the greatest nation in the world. In a conversation, I don't know if Hector is okay with talking about the conversation with Joe.
Uh, sure. Of course. Sure.
So we had a conversation with the chairman Joe Rutgers of the Republican Party, and we talked about that certain topic, the status. We know that statehood is not viable for Puerto Rico, and the Republican Party is in favor of the Commonwealth status for Puerto Rico. Right now, the Republicans favor the free associated state status. So what we're seeing, and I had the opportunity to work with public policy for the Keep 9 Amendment in Congress with Mr. Ramon Bueller. Democrats want to make Puerto Rico a state, but it's not for inclusion or for their famous tags, diversity, equity, and inclusion. No. The real reason why they want to do this is to abolish the filibuster. That's the main purpose. The majority leader, Senator John Thune, said it. They want to abolish the filibuster. Why? Because they want to pack the court. Once you pack the court, you have absolute power. Once they pack the court, they want to add Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico as a state. And I don't want to bash my people, but like Hector said, the education on party politics are very different from the United States. People might think that the Democratic Party is their ally, and it is not. Like he said, people in Puerto Rico are very, very conservative. In Puerto Rico, abortion is illegal under the law. And the AG, the Attorney General, already cited and uphold that law. It's illegal. We did ban transitional operations, gender operations in the island. So we are conservative. But since the education on party politics, since we're a status-based political atmosphere, the education on Republican and Democrat, left and right ideologies is not that pronounced in the island. So people think that the Democratic Party could be their ally, which is not. And the Democrats want to take advantage of that misinformation here in the island to try and get Puerto Rico to vote blue, to get absolute power in Congress and in the White House. And we need to prevent that. So I would gladly also, from the bottom of my heart, I would love to get an endorsement from the Pennsylvania Integrity Network endorsing the Commonwealth Republicans. And since this is being recorded, I would like to speak to Senator Joe Picozzi. I had the pleasure of meeting with him in the Pennsylvania Leadership Institute, and I would gladly request on my behalf, not on the coalition's behalf, but on my behalf, that if it's possible to enact a resolution in the Pennsylvania State Senate, a resolution recognizing Puerto Rico as a free associated state or a commonwealth, so we could stop this banter about the status problem in Puerto Rico, because they're taking advantage and bashing the status. The same people that want to be a state in Puerto Rico, the pro-statehood people, the ones bashing the greatest nation on earth and saying that they are an empire and they are colonizers of this great island. And I would not permit this falsehood and misinformation. And I would gladly request to Senator Joe Picozzi to enact a resolution recognizing Puerto Rico as a free associated state. We need to stop this misinformation and start working for the Puerto Rican people, and start working not only for us, but to help the greatest nation on earth, that is the United States. Right now, we have military presence, and we've seen people getting opposed from the left-wing area. So that's another topic. We have people opposing military presence, just a small portion. But those are the communists, the pro-independence people, the left-wingers, the socialists. And we need to stop that movement from growing also. Those people that act like they want the independence for Puerto Rico are the same ones that act and speak positive about Marxism. And we will not, and we don't want to uphold those values. We will uphold the true values, godly values, conservative values. And I would say again, if it's in the matter of Mr. Bill Allen to endorse the Commonwealth Republicans, I would gladly appreciate it. And I really hope to see you guys soon in person in another conference to speak more about this great project that we are doing. And I have to say, he's a timid guy. He's a kind of shy guy for compliments. But I have to say that he talks great about me, but I have to talk great about him. And that's Mr. Bill Allen and Hector Luis Prado. Hector Luis Prado is a great mind for politics. He has a bachelor's and master's in law and public policy. He's a great mind, and I'm going to say it publicly, you are an asset. You are a great member of this team for Republican conservative values and for the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, as well Mr. Bill Allen. Mr. Bill Allen has always gave me the lending hand since the first time we met at the Pennsylvania Leadership Institute. And he's always given me the open mic to express myself as a 22-year-old, young but conservative, and upholding Reagan and Trump values. That's the most important thing. Reagan and Trump values. And I would say it, and I keep saying it again. The solution to our problems is not the government. It's government that's the problem. We need to fight for limited government, low taxes. And I truly wish blessings for this great state of Pennsylvania. And I truly hope that in this next midterms, we stay red as a country, and the Congress stays red. And we hope that in the next years, we do end up saying, thank you, Mr. President Trump, and welcome, Mr. President Vance. So with that being said, on my behalf, I have concluded. I want to thank again Bill Allen for the opportunity, and I thank Mr. Hector Luis Prado for being here. A great ally of conservatism and capitalism, as well as the Commonwealth status.
No problem. Always happy to help. My regards to Mr. Bill Allen, as well as all the members that were kind enough to share some of their time with us.
Bill, next to you.
Bill, yeah. Yep. Back to you. You're up. Oh, okay. I want to do a Q&A.
If you guys have any questions, you could ask.
We're gonna do a Q&A,
I'm
okay?
Yeah.
So, who wants to ask questions, please come up. Okay, where you can hear you better. All right. Right, you change it since we were here last.
Sure. I'll to the laptop.
Talk to the laptop?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Love the t-shirt.
Yeah, my name's Joseph Maher. I'm possibly running for the Pennsylvania Senate from the District 14. And I would like to get the exact wording which you would like to see in a resolution if I should get elected and be in there in January of 2027. Okay.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure meeting you. And I would say to Bill Allen to pass you my contact information so we could start drawing up that resolution. We could start talking about this project, but I would gladly want the first sentence is that the state of Pennsylvania recognizes Puerto Rico as a free associated state, basically a commonwealth, but that's our status in Puerto Rico. A free associated state, in Spanish being translated Estado Libre Asociado. That was our founders and negotiations with Dwight D. Eisenhower and our founders' public policy. Luis Muñoz Marín, the founder of this great party, Estado Libre Asociado, that's the status we have. So I gladly would say to Bill Allen to send you my contact information so we could start drawing that resolution for your public office, because we're manifesting that you're going to be the next senator.
Okay, thank you very much, because City of Allentown has probably one of the largest Latino, and I think a lot of Puerto Ricans in its boundaries, and it's entirely within the district I'm running.
Pennsylvania has a big population of Puerto Ricans, so it would be a great honor. It would be very much to us Commonwealthers that you guys recognize it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Blessings.
Hello, my name is Beverly Hernandez.
Hello.
Hi, how
doing?
are you? Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
You're pretty young
Great
to be
being with you
doing.
guys.
You're pretty young to be doing what you're doing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it a lot.
That's a great start. Basically, I have 3 questions. Short.
Fire away.
Are you a Christian? You sound like a Christian.
Well, I am a Christian. I started in the Catholic Church with my mother and my whole family, but I wouldn't say I'm a Catholic. I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and I believe in conservative values, and I believe in the 10 Commandments.
Yes, that's it. Okay, number 2. Do you have a lot of people leaving Puerto Rico because of what's going on in Puerto Rico?
Well, Puerto Rico right now has 3.2 million people residing in the island, but approximately 6.2 have left the island to the United States, to states like Pennsylvania, to states like Kentucky, Florida, New York. We have people even in Missouri with the great Senator Josh Hawley that have moved and migrated from the island to the States for a better quality of life.
Okay. Yes. I supervised a young man that was Puerto Rican. He was an excellent worker. He was a caseworker with me. The third question would be, do you have an Indian population in Puerto Rico still? Because when the Spaniards arrived in Puerto Rico, there were quite a few Indians there.
Yes, we have a very, very small percentage of Indians or people that have Indian descent.
Yes.
On my behalf, I have a Spanish descent. My great-grandfather was Spanish. My
Yes.
great-great-grandfather was from the Spanish Empire. He was born also in the captaincy in Puerto Rico from the Spanish Empire. So I'm Puerto Rican, but I'm half Spanish too.
Oh,
But
no,
we
I
do
don't mean.
have
I don't mean you personally. I'm sorry. I'm
No, no,
talking.
yeah, yeah. That- I'm going on that. So we do have a small population of Indians, but mostly that's where I'm going. Mostly of the people here in Puerto Rico have more Spanish tendencies or European or US tendencies than Indian or indigenous tendencies, but we do have a small minority here. Just a
Okay,
very
then
big, very small.
right. That well, what I'm going for is that then they do not have much political power, right?
That's correct. They do not.
Okay. All right. We have in Easton, I come from Northampton County, and we have a quite a Hispanic population in Southside Easton, Southside Bethlehem. And I'm interested in working with the Hispanic population. And I'll leave it there because I'm sure other people have questions. But thank you for your time and thank you for your, you're doing a great job for a young person. I really appreciate it. I really like to
Thank you. I
see. Yeah,
appreciate you.
yeah, that's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Buenos días. Good day. How are you?
How you doing? Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Yo nací en Fajardo. I was born in Fajardo.
Oh, great.
I've been
East
in the
side.
yes, I've been in the United States most of my life. For me, it was culture shock because I was raised basically in El Yunque, up in the hills, and then the bioluminescent bag. I identify as part Taino, part Spaniard, because my father's family is actually from Spain, but my mother's family is generally Indian, right? So my
Okay.
question to you is, um, what's Puerto Rico doing right now to get the Tainos recognized as a federally protected tribe?
Well, Puerto Ricans right now. Did you speak, Hector?
Yeah,
Excuse me?
it's not. Well, it's not going to be considered a Puerto Rican. It's not going to be considered a federal tribe by law. It's now part of a mixed race. That's considered basically the Puerto Rican heritage. It has been very difficult. Ha sido bien difícil. It has been very difficult for the federal government to even recognize that part of them being Indians or in that area, just because there's not really left a community that's Taino, specifically 100% pure Taino. As you know, by 1492, Christopher Columbus came, the Spaniards came, the African Americans came, and these three races mixed and formed what today we have the Puerto Rican race, or basically the Boricua race, as we call it here.
Exactly.
Right.
So it has been a very, very difficult situation trying to get them on board in that area. I don't see anything in the future. I don't see anything in the future.
Well, I personally
Don't see
spent
anything in the future of that happening. But it's a very, very good. It's a very, very good, very, very, very good
It's a
questions.
great
I do
question.
know
It's a great
that
question.
ICPR in Puerto Rico, ICPR, which is Instituto de Cultura Puertorriqueña, or the
right.
Institute for Puerto Rican Culture, does protect the heritage, the Taino heritage within all its aspects. So we we do basically they do basically defend and protect that area.
Um,
We do preserve the heritage. Commenting on Hector's words. Like I said, it's a very small minority because there are people with those aspects, those race aspects, but mostly, like he said, it's a mix: Spanish, Taino, and African. So that's what builds up the Puerto Rican race. And fairly enough, and I do not mean to say this in the most bad way, not that not that hyper initiative on identity politics. I would say.
I
Like
agree.
they would just leave it and go. They just want to live their lives. Yeah.
Well, interjecting, I personally spent 6 months in North Dakota at Pine Ridge with the Ogallala Sioux. 80–90% of them are not 100% Native American, and they're still being recognized.
Well, again, it's very different aspect. Like you said, it's a culture shock. Politics are very also very different in Puerto Rico from the U.S. Um, we really just are mellow on that topic. We are more focused, not us, but the island completely is very mellow on that topic. They just they're there, and we acknowledge them and we give them their props, just like everybody.
Yeah, but you have
We
to
just we,
but you have to understand, okay, that a lot of the older generation do believe, and we come to find out in our DNA, we do have that in our blood, okay? What the older generation is upset about is you're recognizing the blacks, but you're not recognizing the Indian part of Puerto Rico. And I think what's more Puerto Rican is the Indians, the Tahitianos, okay? And you can't do that to the older generation.
Haitianos.
Yes. Because I'm the older generation, okay? And I listen to my aunts, my uncles, and I have generations of Puerto Ricans, okay? Yes, and I'm also Spanish, and I also have 1% Black. And I think we all have 1% Black, but we have more percentage of Indian than we have Blacks. And what's being recognized in Puerto Rico is more the Blacks, and it shouldn't be that way because the Indians were there way before the Blacks, and every Puerto Rican has more Indian than Black. Do you understand why people are upset?
Oh yeah, yeah. And another thing, saying when you mentioned that, and Hector could correct me if I'm wrong, the pro statehood party wanted to abolish the ICPR.
Okay.
That is correct. That is correct. However, in regards to your question, ma'am, to your statement, ma'am, I fully appreciate what you're saying. The problem is in Puerto Rico that the ICPR basically have taken measures to protect certain people, to protect certain rules within our party or within the aspects of within the aspects of being a Taino. However, because, and this is like I said, this is more of a cultural thing, because right now there's no they don't see, the government really doesn't see here as there's 100% Tainos left or 100% pure Tainos here and stuff like that. They don't take measures into protecting that part of our heritage.
Yeah,
They
but
see it.
I understand your point of view, but what I'm trying to come across is same thing with the Blacks. There's not a lot of them either in our blood, but they're getting more recognized than the Tatianos are. Oh, you understand?
Thanos.
Oh, I
Tainos.
do understand. I
Tainos.
do
Yeah.
understand, and it's something that last the
And
governor the
that's our
last.
culture. That is our
No, most definitely, most definitely. For the last governors, the last governor that ran, Charlie Delgado Altieri, he was the 2020 candidate. I wrote part of his platform for family values as well as conservative views as well as faith-based communities and minorities and stuff and so on and so forth. And he was willing to actually take further methods into that area. He was willing to take steps into that, and we've tried. A lot of candidates have tried to do this. A lot of candidates have tried to do this, but I do see your point, ma'am. I do see your point.
No, because my my maiden name is Hernandez, pero mi mamá es de Río y mi abuela es de Valle. So,
That's old.
so that is old Puerto Rican. That's old Indian Puerto Rican. Okay.
Arawak.
So I'm telling you, there's still some of us out there, but they're dying out. And I would appreciate, not appreciate, but I would be hoping, because a lot of them are dying right now. And we need to keep that culture going because yes, we're getting mixed, of course. But we need to, that's our history right there. And they're being pushed further and further and further away, and it shouldn't be. That's what I'm just saying.
Well, the point I was raising was that the time that I spent on Native American reservations, I realized that a lot of the people there were anywhere between 15 to 30% Native American. They were nowhere near even 50%.
I'm 31. I'm 31%.
Not gonna be able to get you a solution.
No,
Oh, no,
I
no.
know,
We were
I know.
just bringing it up.
Bringing it up. That's all.
All right.
But I appreciate your time. You're in mute.
It's a great question. It's a great question. Don't worry, it's no problem. It's it's very great that you highlight those aspects. And brother, I could send you. All I could do is send you a hug from here. Since you're in the States.
Yeah, I
But
didn't mean
it's
to
a
throw
great.
it off. I was just curious about
Don't
it.
worry. Don't worry. No, don't worry. It's a great question, a valid question, and you took us back. Took us back
Yeah,
to
I
to
appreciate
old
your
history.
answers.
Oh, appreciate the question too.
You got
Okay.
anything? Okay, we're done.
Well, basically,
Gracias.
one more thing. And what I've been working here with the Puerto Rican and the Latino community, okay, and educating them that they are very conservative, that they're not Democrats. I have a little thing that shows them if they're Democrat or Republican, and they scratch off what they are, and they're realizing they have more Republican values than they have Democrats. So
Most Latinos are conservative.
no, we are conservative. We have conservative values.
I am.
That's the,
Most
don't
most Latinos are conservatives.
yeah, most of them are. No, I'm going to say 85% are.
90.
Yeah.
Gracias,
90.
Giselle.
Yeah, thank you.
Gracias a ti.
Very much.
Gracias a ti.
Gracias a todo el mundo.
Jessiel, tengo que entrar a una reunión.
Perfect. Don't worry.
¿Cómo estamos, gentlemen?
How you doing?
My name is Eddie Aviles. I'm one of the cities, the valley's one of the biggest influences in the city right now. My name is Eddie Waribo Aviles. I'm blessed Taino.
Okay.
Okay. I did
Okay.
after Maria, I was in Puerto Rico for 9 months doing disaster relief. And I did a lot of work in Vieques. And I was blessed under Gypsy Cordova. He's the cacique over there. Like I can call Cacique Martin right now, the head of the Cacique of Caciques in Puerto Rico. I could call him
The
right
big chief. The big
Yeah.
chief. The big chief.
like this. Okay. My question to you is: you said there's only 3.2, so 300,000 people left since Maria, because at that time
3.2 million. 3.2 million.
3.2 million, right? At that time, it was 3.5. Puerto Rico becoming a Commonwealth, would that give it the option to vote?
Well, we are a Commonwealth, but we do not vote for the president. We have Congress representation. We do not vote in Congress since we're not a state, but we do
I
have a
understand,
voice in
but
the voting committees.
if we become like Pennsylvania, would that give us the option to vote?
So one of the advocacies as us as pro-Commonwealth people in this party, can you give me a sec? Quick.
They're giving him his answers. So can you imagine if I'm 30-something% Indian, my mother and my father are higher up? That's what I'm saying. The older generation is dying out. And they're more Indian than.
True, that's true. That's an American.
Yeah.
When I was born in 55. Die.
Yep.
More value.
My husband's 55. And my kids are halfway.
My values are all American mostly. I mean, we're 12.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. So we advocate for furthering more those powers, those autonomy powers. Some people are in favor of voting for the president as a Commonwealth, and some people are not. I tend to be more in favor. When we try to develop and give those powers to the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, we wanted to have one more representative in Congress, that being a senator, one senator and one congressman. That was the last time we tried to develop the free associated state status or the common and Gerald Ford. So that's a big situation that we have here in this party and in Puerto Rico. And that's why the pro statehood party tends to take advantage of that. But in my case, I would love to have equal representation, equality with the United States. If we could vote for the president, that would be great. If not, we'll leave it at that. But amplify our representation in Congress and major autonomy, fiscal autonomy inside the permanent union with the United States.
I feel at the end of the day, our words should count, and we should push for that vote. Okay.
No, it's a very important matter. If it were up to me, like I said, if we don't have it, but we get that representative and we can amplify that voice in the meantime, great. If we get that senator and we get that presidential vote, or we stay with the presidential vote and we stay with one congressman, well, that's great. We could still vote for the president.
Okay.
I told Bill in the last conference, I'm doing a big investigation on our status and trying to amplify its powers and its constitution.
Okay. But that's all the questions I have for you. We'll definitely be linking up in the future.
Of course.
We got plans to go out to Puerto Rico and do something out there. Okay. I'm from Lares, Isabela,
Okay.
Naranjito, Jordan.
I'm from Isabela.
So I got family all over. Okay.
Oh, great.
So we'll get out there and we'll do something very, very soon. And if you come out here, it's the red carpet. You'll be okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right, my brother.
Hello. How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm Brandon. So I'm
Pleasure.
partial Puerto Rican because I have my mom's mother's side of the family. My great grandmother Amanda Morales Rivera came from Puerto Rico and came to the United
Okay.
States in the around 1915. But anyway, I wanted to ask we have a nice sized Puerto Rican population here in the Lehigh Valley. It's a good number. But what's the stereotype is that they tend to the left wants to say they're all completely Democrat. And when we think of like even famous people like Jennifer Lopez or Rita Moreno are considered representatives of the Puerto Rican community, but the problem is they're both lefties, they're not conservative. So
And Bad Bunny.
I'm sorry?
And Bad Bunny.
Yeah. So what's a great way to help the Puerto Rican community here? Just do we have to do the same thing that like what's in Puerto Rico is are we going through a similar thing that a lot of Puerto Ricans in the United States are secretly conservative, but they vote Democrat because of lack of education? Is that what's going on?
Well, I would say education is power. Educate people, educate the Latinos, tell them to not be ashamed of being conservative, because a thing that the left has done, not only in the US and in Puerto Rico, but it's widely throughout the world. We see people in Spain that they're scared at a certain extent to say they're right wing. People in Italy that they're scared of being right wing because they're going to call them fascists or Nazis in our case, and fascists. It's education. It's education. Education is power. Spread the word. Do conferences like this and explain. Just because you're a right-wing person, you tend to lean right or you are right, doesn't mean that's bad for the Latino community in this case. I had the pleasure to meet I would say a lot of Latinos that are Republicans. There's a lot of Latinos and people And the Democrats try to hide that at a certain extent. There's a lot of Latinos fleeing away from their countries or fleeing away from communism and socialism, and they are Republicans. We could see the mayor of Miami right now. He ended his term, but he's a Republican, but he's half Cuban. His father fled from Cuba to Miami with him. So we have that. Another great example, we have our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. He's Latino, he's half Cuban. So we could promote people like Marco Rubio. We could promote people like the mayor of Miami. Sadly enough, I haven't found no Puerto Rican that's a conservative. But if I do, I'll send it to Bill fast. But education is power, my brother. Education is power, and it will be spread the word and do things like what we're doing right now, a Q&A and this conference. I would say that Latinos are going to start leaning more right than the left.
After Charlie Kirk's death, what's been Puerto Rico's response to that thus far?
Well, there's been a mixed reactions because we have the left in Puerto Rico, pro-independence, communism, lefties being glad and saying that, well, he earned it. But we have a big right-wing movement also. I am part of a podcast called Indiarios, and one of my co-hosts did a big movement. It was called Revival, if I'm not mistaken, in front of the state capitol, and it was, I would say, very jam-packed. People from pro-statehood people, pro-commonwealthers, all over there, just praising God and saying their best wishes and blessings for Charlie, even though he went to another life.
So yeah, no, I agree. I think there needs to be more education. I do know I know a lot of Puerto Ricans in our area, and the sad part is outside of the group here and some other small groups, a lot of them are voting Democrat, the ones I know. And so and their reasoning is because they're following the media. And it's not really grounded. So I think what needs to happen is there needs to be like pamphlets and seminars and other things, so that way they can understand that. And like you mentioned, with certain Spanish speaking countries like Cuba, is that a lot of them were under terrible regimes, and we don't want them to experience the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Another person that I would like to acknowledge during this is Elisa Nicely Holstay. She ran for pro notary.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of the great people that gave me the opportunity to work in her campaign. She met me in the Pennsylvania leadership conference, and that same night she gave me the opportunity to participate in her campaign. So we have great people inside the Republican Party that are willing to give Latinos, Puerto Ricans, the opportunities and earn their stripes inside the Republican Party.
Sounds good. Well, I look forward for you coming here at some point, and I think like we need to rev out the Puerto Rican community and make them obviously red, not blue.
Of course, sure thing. I'll try to do my best.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you guys, okay? And yes,
I want to thank you.
You know I endorse you, okay? I endorse you to be the next governor of Puerto Rico. All right?
Thank you.
You got to understand that from me, okay? I am pro what you're doing. I'm pro what you're creating in the Republican sense as a conservative, okay? I am pro that. And our group is pro what you do in that sense, okay?
Thank you.
I want you to understand that, brother.
Thank you.
I will come to the island sometime, and I will be there with you to help you, okay? All right?
The doors in Isabela are open, and we will gladly receive you in Isabela.
Well, the key to success is what you're talking about. You're energetic, first of all, okay? And I'm going to talk with you about doing some other things with, I'd like to create some short videos, basically, to reach out to the Hispanic community. And I know I need them in English and Spanish, okay?
We
I
can
want
mix
to
it up.
reach out to the young people, okay, and why they should be activated. Why is a young man like you activated? It's important for them to hear that you're from Puerto Rico, you understand the culture, and even though you moved to America, you're still Puerto Rican. All right, you're still you're and it's not even dual citizens because you're automatically granted an American when you're born there. So they still are Puerto Rican and they're welcome to come home and participate in making
We're
Puerto
U.S.
Rico great
citizens.
again. Making
We're
Puerto
U.S.
Rico great
citizens.
again. Right. So
And
I'm
I
going to
would say our Republican advocated for Puerto Rican to have the U.S. citizenship. Sadly, Woodrow Wilson gave us the citizenship, but if it wasn't for the peer pressure of Teddy Roosevelt, Puerto Ricans would not be U.S. citizens. So again, I would say Republicans have been fearless allies
right.
of Puerto Ricans.
And that's what it was like when I met you back in the beginning of April, okay? You and your friend, I was so excited meeting yous. And I said, and when I got you to come up here in May, okay, to this same place we're at, okay?
Yeah,
You
I was
sit
telling
up
my friend the
front
chicken
here
salad is
and give
great.
your presentation here, okay? We're so grateful. And we're so
I'm
grateful
grateful to you
that
guys.
you could come through Zoom and we could get it up and running again. But I want to give you a big applause, you and your friends, okay? Your associates.
Thank you.
And keep up the great work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.